Okay, so you know that I love a top 10 list. I love taking big concepts and breaking them down into like, okay, what's the top 10 things we need to think about? So here is a new top 10 list that I created of key lessons that we can learn from Inside Out and Inside Out 2, combining insights from both movies and the broad emotional range that each sequel gave us. So, number one, it's so important that we embrace the full spectrum of emotions. Both movies introduce this wide range of emotions like joy and sadness, anger, fear, anxiety, right? And they emphasize that experiencing complex and messy feelings is a part of humaning. It's just how it goes. So if we accept our emotions rather than suppressing the uncomfortable ones, it allows us to build a richer and more nuanced sense of self, right? Nobody can be better at being you than you. So let's go. All right, number two, anxiety is a normal part of growth. I know that stinks, but it's true, right? It does play a larger role in Inside Out 2, particularly during puberty. We watch Riley as she reflects on these real life struggles with self identity and insecurity. But instead of avoiding or ignoring anxiety, it's more effective if we give it a task or an outlet, right? The movie suggests that, where they simply say, anxiety, please don't take over, but boy, we could still use you to prepare ourselves for what could come. Don't paralyze us, but you'd still have a job. And that is so important. So remember, anxiety is a normal part of life. Number three, your mistakes don't define you, but they are a part of you. Both movies highlight this. And it simply is, right? We accept both our positive and our negative experiences. That makes us stronger. And it makes us more resilient. It gives us hope and it helps us to develop that more authentic self. Number four, change is uncomfortable, but it's necessary for growth. Whether it's puberty that Riley was going through, or it's any other kind of transition, parenting or changing jobs or retiring or menopause, right? Maybe empty nest, whatever it is. This movie normalizes change and the discomfort of it and pretty much says, we're going to go through these things, but we need to do them in order to grow and we're going to be okay. Number five, your personality is always evolving, right? We're always growing. Doesn't matter how old you are. And our architecture of change, it over time, it changes. And it should. You shouldn't get in a marriage and be doing the same things, communicating the same way and interacting in the same ways that you did 25, 50 years ago. No, you have changed. And so has your spouse, right? You shouldn't be doing the same job the same way all the time, right? Things change and evolve for a reason. So when we adapt to that challenge and we see it as this continuous evolution, and it's normal and it's healthy. So allow yourself to continue to change. That's, whenever I go to a bridal shower and they say, put some advice in for couples, I always say, you're going to keep changing, allow it in each other, right? I believe it. Okay. Number six, remember that in IFS, internal family systems, all parts are welcome. It's so important that we show ourselves self-acceptance and self-compassion by welcoming all of our parts. Both of these movies talk about embracing both our strengths and our weaknesses, and really accepting all parts of ourselves, even the messy and flawed bits. And believe me, I have parts that I'm like, I don't want to talk to you today. Get to the back of the bus. We don't want to do that today. But eventually I know they need my attention or they're going to get my attention, right? So when we get curious and we use confidence, clarity, compassion, curiosity, calmness, all the big S self qualities towards these parts, it's really, really important to our system. Number seven, it's okay to feel like you're not enough sometimes. Did you hear me? It's okay to feel like you're not enough sometimes. I feel this probably once a week, if not more. Sometimes 10 times a week, sometimes 10 times a day, right? This is a common experience, not only for adolescents, but it carries on throughout your life. And these movies help us to understand that these feelings are something we can work through, but they don't have to define us. And number eight, when our emotions work together, they help us navigate life. So recognize that you might have an extreme emotion, allow another emotion to come alongside and hold its hand. And we can easily move into a little bit better state of mind, right? And I say easily, lightly, but the point is when we allow our emotions to go hand in hand, sometimes they can talk and figure it out themselves, then come to the big S self and we're okay together. So, something to think about. Number 9, life is messy. Remember that. That's how it goes, right? So during times of transition, during times of anything, these movies encourage us to stop striving for perfection. It's not going to be perfect, but focus on the complexities of who we are, the situation we're in, and still find the glimmer of joy. And number 10, we talked about this a little bit throughout these, but although these are animated films, know that this process doesn't start when we're kids or in adolescence, right? This continues to grow. Just as I said earlier, we're going to change. And these films just start the conversation around it, but the learning continues throughout our lives. So that's my top 10 list. Enjoy it, embrace it, apply it. And I'm going to go watch the films again. Talk to you later.